I remember during my first month, I would receive money from my clients every week, bi-monthly. So it's really good until I realized it's no longer healthy because I remember just sleeping 4 hours because I was so excited to earn money. Okay, are you sure you wanted my help because you're already earning from this? I didn't realize that because for me, it's just a Facebook group. If you are a virtual assistant, you're literally doing all the things in your power just to keep the business running. And then others are not treated well, not compensated well. I can see that there are a lot of other communities, but a lot of bullying, a lot of shaming and all that. What's nice about the community is that if you're a mom, you will be needing an inspiration, like someone that is the same with the challenges that you are facing. So I do not stop figuring out how we can provide value to the community.
Seeing all of this change, what do you think is the future for FHMoms?
Now, I feel that FHMoms will be a platform that can provide real job opportunities.
Welcome to Brave. Learn from Southeast Asia's best tech leaders. Build the future, learn from our past, and stay human in between. No BS on success. I'm Jeremy Au, venture capitalist, serial founder, Harvard MBA, science fiction nerd, and dad of 2 daughters. Every week, we debate startup news, interview changemakers, answer listener questions, and share personal insights. Join our movement of over 40,000 members and get transcripts, resources, and community at www.bravesea.com. Stay well and stay brave.
Hey MK, really excited to have you on the show. You represent Filipino Homebased Moms, which is a community as well that is bringing opportunities to homemakers across the Philippines. So really excited to have you on the show on a really important topic. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's a great opportunity to share my story, the story of our community. So again, I'm MK Bertulfo. You can just call me MK. And FH Moms is the largest online community for work-at-home mothers in the Philippines or probably in the Southeast Asia. We have 540,000 members globally. And what we do is we help Filipino moms get an online job through our digital skills training, apprenticeship, scholarship, and we also connect them to international clients.
Fantastic. And I got to ask, how did you even get started? Were you a mom? Were you working? How does it begin?
When I started FH Moms, all I wanted is to just find a support group. Because when I started, so when I transitioned from corporate, I was a call center agent back then. So when I transitioned to working from home, I was so shocked because I didn't realize that I'll be stuck at home. Because, okay, so this is the setup. It's just me, my husband, and then my 2-year-old son back then. I decided to join other communities, but I don't feel like joining those because many of the members are kind of toxic, even the admins. So I wanted to find a safe space for myself. Because I can't find one, I created one. So that is how FH Moms or Filipina Homebased Moms started as a Facebook group. And then it's free. It's free to create one. And then I started sharing about how I landed my first job. So I had my first international client as an email support. So that was my previous job in the call center. It went well because this client is really great. And then he even hired my husband and a few of our friends. And then I started doing Facebook Live sessions before community building is not even a term. Being an influencer or creator is not even a thing. So I just keep on creating content and then I would answer a lot of messages from them because it's new in the Philippines during this time, 2017, so 9 years ago. And then I was just casually sharing. And then they requested if I can do like a physical meetup, which I did in a fast food chain.
Is it Jollibee?
Yeah, because it's just for 2 hours and all that. But then they requested if we can do like a full training, which I did. And guess what? I did it at home. So that is how I started doing trainings. And then when I got burnout because working for multiple clients, that's how freelancing works. And then we did travel as a family. But then what I did is I initiated a lot of community meetups in 23 cities for 2 years just to reach out to these moms and then teach them during that time. And then come pandemic.
So much to unpack there. But let's go back to the beginning, right? Because I think many people don't understand what's it like to work at a call center.
Right.
And also most people don't really understand what's it like to work as a virtual assistant, right?
That is right.
And also what's interesting is that you had to make that transition, which is, I think, very common in the Philippines, but quite uncommon in the rest of Southeast Asia and even
Right.
America, for example. So maybe could you just give us, what was it like working as a call center agent and then you had a child on the way? What was it like?
Yeah. So it's so hard because I was breastfeeding during the time. And then the shift is at nighttime. So imagine it's so unsafe to, go around the city just alone. And then I also have to like find other jobs because the salary that I'm getting is super low. It's just 14,000 pesos per month. And I was too young back then. I was in my early 20s. I decided to find another BPO or call center job. So I'm doing two call center jobs. So people don't know that. It's my little secret because I'm the breadwinner of the family. My mom, she was a former OFW or overseas worker. And then when she came back, she had an ovary cancer and we lost her. And because of that, we went bankrupt. And then I started getting so many other jobs. That's how I started. I did a lot of businesses as well, but these are the small business that is unregistered during the time because all I do is just sell it to my office mates and use the company's fridge. Just it's so sad to be poor. So yeah, that is what happened during my call center days. And it's so hard because of the stress, a lot of office politics as well. And then the traffic is terrible. Imagine in BGC. I have to like get out of BGC and just walk because even if you have money, the taxi drivers will not like allow you. So it's weird.
Then you had to make the decision, which is, okay, I'm going to quit this call center and become a home-based virtual assistant.
Right.
Isn't that difficult, or how was that? Was it always, you know what, I'm so sick of this call center job?
It is difficult.
It was a no-brainer.
Yeah. So in fact, my husband was actually a virtual assistant,
okay.
and then he's the one who moved to the freelancing world first. But then maybe it's so hard for him to teach me about it. I don't know. But what I did is I started searching about it online, and then I created my profile, stuff like that. So I feel that all of because before there's no AI, by the way, so it's so hard to scroll for information in Google. That's what I did. And then there's not much coaches or content creators because nowadays there are a lot of information that you can get in social media as well as AI. But during that time, it's so hard. You really have to figure it out yourself.
And what's interesting is that you made a decision to do that. What was that transition like? Was it like, hey, I can ask my husband for advice? Or was it like, no, he's wrong? I'm just kind of curious because it's not easy. So what was that transition like for you?
I did ask my supervisors even because during the time, again, there's a lot of office politics and we're like training for different accounts. So it's really shaking in the previous company that I'm in. And then I even asked my other teammates, hey, what are your plans after this? So everyone is just like trying to figure out what's next for all of us. And then as for me, I just did my research. I think that's it. But then it's so hard because my dad, when he learned that I'm going to work from home and I'm going to quit my job, he literally, I don't know, his is like shocked.
No, he was like not happy.
Yeah, definitely not happy. And then he's been questioning me why I'm doing that because that was also my first time getting a stable job, I guess. Because before I've been doing a lot of side gigs. My dad, to be honest, he's not the type of person that is open to a lot of new ideas. So it's so hard to explain to him. Until in my first week, I earned a lot of money, virtual assistant, and okay, I'll let you work from home.
It's like conservative until...
Oh, that's great. Good opportunity.
Good, very good of you, daughter. And so there you are. What's interesting is that during this time also, you're a new mom as well.
Right.
What was it like? You're juggling care, a new role, I guess time zones. And things about that.
So in regards with time zones, it's crazy because I would start my shift at 1 a.m. to 8. Though I came from the BPO industry, everyone would say that it's easy. But then even if you don't travel, that's what I can say an advantage. If you will be working from home, you don't have to like travel, but then you will be juggling your responsibility as a mom or as a parent and a freelancer, right? So there are times when you're in a call, for example, and then your kids will be needing you and all that. And then I remember because I feel that it's common for many newbies in the industry that they will experience working with multiple clients for the first time, literally hoarding a lot of clients. Because I remember during my first month, I would receive money from my clients, like different clients every week, and then buy monthly, something like that. So it's really good until I realized, because it's no longer healthy, because I remember just sleeping 4 hours because I was so excited to earn money. Because before I'm doing that, like multiple jobs, right? But this one, it's different. It's just a 4 hour sleep. And then I remember my son get out of our compound. So I got really scared. That's why my husband and I talked and we decided to manage our clients, just find premium clients, and go back to the reason why we decided to work from home.
And I'm a parent as well, right? I have two young girls, a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old.
Nice.
So very exciting times, but also tricky as well. And I think one thing I find is that I always find when I'm a parent, I think I should be at work. And when I'm at work, I think I should be with my kids, and not an easy piece. How was that process for you as a home-based virtual assistant?
So
Yeah.
a lot of people think that I'm really good when it comes to multitasking, which I think is true. And then others would say that, oh, okay, MK has to be really good when it comes to work-life balance. But I guess it's just work-life integration. So there are times where I would bring my kids to work, especially if I'm organizing events. Because when they were younger, like a newborn or probably in their toddler years, I have my baby career. So that was the time that I also became like an advocate of baby carrying, because you get closer to your kids or to your babies. And at the same time, your hands free, so you can definitely work. That one. And then there are times also where I would talk to all of them, including my kids, and then my husband, and then our household helpers, and let them understand that I have meetings, this is my schedule, stuff like that. So it's really something that you really have to let everyone know, including my friends. They understand that we have to schedule all the night outs or whatever plans we have. So we really have to put it in the calendar, because if it's not in the calendar, it's out of the picture.
Yes, my wife and I think our kindergarten gave us some activity and we
Yeah.
totally missed it. We didn't make
Yeah,
a
yeah,
poster
yeah.
about
Oh,
fruit
no,
or
oh,
something.
no, oh, no.
And then my wife was like, are we bad parents?
I
And
know.
I was like, it's a poster. But then
Right,
from there, we
right.
had to write it down and be like, okay,
Yeah.
the homework for
So
us.
we're also learning from our kids, right?
Yeah,
From
yeah.
being a parent. And then I remember, because I got mom guilt. So
Yeah.
it's very common among parents to have guilt, especially for us in the business, right? So what I did plan. It's good that we have AI now, because before I would really schedule a date with my husband, and then it's a different date with my kids, right? So I would really plan for everything. And I'm so proud of myself, because during the pandemic, I even asked the other kids to go to our place so that I can teach them stuff like that. And then we visited a lot of places here for the kids. So I would really make time for the kids. I would really put an effort just to make sure that, because I'm still young, strong. So I wanted to make sure that I get to spend a lot of time with them whenever I'm at home or whenever we're out.
Yeah. And I think what's interesting is that you use the phrase like mom guilt. So
Yeah.
what is mom guilt?
Yeah,
Is
so-
that dad guilt? And I haven't heard
I
that
don't know,
much.
but for us, I think it's very common, because I'm not sure if it's just in the Philippines,
Yeah.
but I think it's common among moms. We were expected to not just take care of the kids, but also take care of everybody. And then all the duties for the husband, and then all the duties for the kids, and also the whole community. Sometimes we also have other responsibilities in the church, for example, in the community, stuff like that. So it's hard for us, especially for myself, because aside from FH Moms, I did start another startup with my neighbors. Okay, so it's another startup. It's still connected with FH Moms, but what I'm saying is I'm doing so many other things, but I still make sure that I got to integrate the things that I do with my family. I also do content creation and affiliate marketing. So you could imagine what I do in the digital world. And then when I'm at home, I feel that my kids are already getting all the ideas that, oh, I can also earn like mom in terms of the digital world as a creator or whatever.
Yeah. And what's interesting is that you've been obviously building all these different skills and also these different communities. And circling back to this FH Mom community, it's one thing obviously to set
Yeah.
up a Facebook group
Yeah.
and have people chit chat, and obviously you're helping them out.
Exactly.
With kindness of your heart. Another thing to make it an organization, to make it more structured. So what was
Right.
that process like to be like, hey, I'm not just jolly meeting
Yeah, yeah,
people,
yeah, yeah.
to be like, okay, I'm going to be like putting in significant time and hours. What was
Exactly.
that like for you?
So the moment that they requested if I
Yeah.
can do like an online training, especially for the OFWs, that was the time that I got an idea that, okay, maybe I could really do that. So I started recruiting for trainers that can teach other topics such as accountancy, social media marketing, and other hard topics that I cannot obviously teach. So I registered FH Moms as a sole prop, because I'm not really sure which one to choose because there's a lot, and I feel that it's complicated for me to go to register FHMoms as a corporation because I'm a solo founder. So I did register FHMoms, yes, because we're also getting tractions from brands who wanted to work with us. They wanted to be advertised inside the community. So we already have the courses, which did like really well during the time, and then the brands, and then the events. And then during the pandemic, I went crazy because I don't know what to do, because before the lockdown, we even organized an event that was attended by 700 moms. That was our biggest event during the time. Pandemic came, I was surprised because there was this BPO client who reached out to us to hire 200 employees. So
200, wow.
that's huge. And I feel that we're not ready for that. But then, as a startup founder, I did hire an HR manager, and then we partnered, and then we were able to supply them with all their needs. So I'm so happy because that was my first time experiencing mass recruitment. So what I did is, okay, let me just practice a little more. So I started connecting my virtual assistant to my startup friends, because during the time, that was also the time where I joined a lot of pitching competitions, accelerator programs. It's because I'm an undergrad, that's one. And then I also don't have any idea about the tech world. I would always ask my husband to do troubleshooting for me. So I'm not really that confident when it comes to building app, building a platform. But then when I entered the startup community, it was so happy because everyone is just building, everyone is just trying their best to earn from their startups. And I was there, a Facebook community, and I'm already earning. And then I asked like a group admin, it's Startup PH, one of the group admins, I asked him if he could help me join, because I'm trying to join. It's similar with Shark Tank. So in
Yeah,
the
final
Philippines,
pitch.
it's the final pitch.
Season
yeah.
4, you want the
Season 4.
finalists.
Yeah, so I don't have any idea. And for me, for a mom like me, I don't see any past participants who's also a mom or with the same startup as mine. Okay, so I asked him, and he was also shocked that, okay, are you sure you wanted my help because you're already earning from this startup? I didn't realize that, because for me, it's just a Facebook group. So what I did is, when I joined the final pitch, I did try my best to research, and then I'm thinking on ways on how I'm gonna turn this into like a platform,
Yeah.
right? So that's the idea that I pitched in the final pitch, and the judges really love it. The investors like it as well. So yeah, and the rest is history. I did join a lot of competitions where I got cash prizes, a lot of grants as well, free money
Right.
that helped me boost the startup that I have.
That's fantastic to hear. Actually, my wife was one on those competitions as well. Startup
Oh,
competitions.
wow.
One of the few female or only female
Yeah,
contestants.
very few.
Back the amazing startup race back then. Totally empathize as well. So I think what's interesting is that you're making this set of decisions. You're starting to push yourself to learn and grow. What are some commonalities or features about the community needs that you have? So you mentioned, I think, job matching,
Right,
job
right.
training,
Exactly.
mom guild. So what are the attributes that make this? Because you can imagine job boards. Why can't
Right.
it be done by a job board? Why can't it be done by the virtual assistant companies?
Right.
What makes this community and organization tick? Yeah.
Aside from being the only mom community, that's one. And then I can see that there are a lot of other communities, but a lot of bullying, a lot of shaming, and all that. What's nice about the community is that if you're a mom, you will be needing an inspiration, right? Like someone that is the same with the challenges that you are facing, right? So the relatability. And then for us, as for me, I do not stop in terms of figuring out how we can provide value to the community, because I did tried a lot of projects just to make sure that we can help them with all of their challenges. We even have a computer rent to own program. Imagine that. We even ask individuals and then organizations to donate Wi-Fi units. So we go beyond just being a Facebook group or another edtech startup. We really reach out to them, ask them how we can help. And then we're very consistent when it comes to our community meetups, especially in the remote areas. And that's something that other tech giants cannot do, being available in a hyper local level.
And not everything can be
Not
BGC
everything,
in
exactly.
Manila, yeah.
So in our case, we have that like a magic in terms of connecting everyone, because we have a solid relationship with the government. We have TICT. And then we also have partnerships with private entities or the brands, internet providers, computers, name it. So we have all of them backing us up with our journey as work at home mothers. So it's
Right.
great because everyone is just trying to help each other. And then as for me, I'm just bridging everyone. So I think that's my only role, right? As the community leader. And in terms of tech, even if I'm not techie, I understand how powerful platforms such as apps, and now we have a lot of other technologies given the AI advancement, right? So I totally understand how business owners can automate their operations and all that. And it's something that I wanted to teach Filipinos, not just moms, but everyone, that there's really money in tech. There's a lot of opportunities in the tech world.
Yeah. So I think there's two sides of it, right? I think one is obviously the mom community you're working with, and the other, of course, is the employer
Exactly.
side of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think what's interesting is I hear your journey is obviously you started out as a mom and as an employee, but you've been building out these alliances,
Right.
opportunities, and partnerships with employers. I'm just curious, like, what do you see are the employers' needs versus the kind of like the Filipino home-based moms' needs? Like, is there differences or difficulties that need to be bridged? Yeah.
In terms of the freelancing industry, I
yeah.
feel that many employers or business owners or even startup founders don't know how to work with their virtual assistants. So by the end of the day, it's going to be people management. So a lot of startup founders would really struggle with people management. And when I was just starting, it's also my struggle. In regards for that, I always tell our virtual assistant moms that it's important to position themselves as like they should have an entrepreneur mindset as well, not just like a robot doing all the tasks, but they should also provide their feedback, insights, and strategies so that it's going to be two-way. Like they can really help their client. And it's the same with their clients. We always tell them that they also have to learn the way things work in the Philippines, especially the culture, if it will be their first time working with a Filipino virtual assistant, right? Because us Filipinos, the Filipino virtual assistants community, we really love to work with our clients. We really wanted to help them. We want their business to grow, and we just wanted to feel that we're part of the business. We're not just another employee because we're doing everything for them. If you are a virtual assistant, you're literally doing all the things in your power just to keep the business running. And then others are not treated well, not compensated well, something like that.
Yeah. I myself have employed virtual assistants before, and I've had, frankly, high performing ones and low performing
Right.
folks. And I think part of it is on reflection. I think that you have to work A, B, C. It's just that I think there's a lot of implicit norms that happens when you're in an office, and at least in a call center, for example.
Right.
Like I think people can help each other
Exactly.
learn
Yeah.
professional development. But I think if you're working with a home-based virtual assistant, as the manager, you're the owner who's
Right.
actually giving
Exactly.
feedback
Yeah.
to improve. And do you have the
Yeah.
time to do that? Do you have the energy to do that? I think something a lot of
That
folks
is
have,
how
yeah.
FHMoms comes in, because in FHMoms we have a lot of webinars. It's free. We have paid courses, but it's super cheap.
Yeah.
It's affordable. A lot of events that we do just for them to meet other freelancers
Yeah.
with different skills,
Right.
right? So they get to connect, they get to expand their network, and they always tell them like, "Hey guys, please go out because it's not gonna work if you're just at home and you're not gonna connect with other people." So I feel like I'm the one pushing them to go out. You would really
yeah.
see me in social media
Yeah.
going to different events because that's how I grow my business, grow my personal brand. So it's really the way to go. But then for them, so I'm okay here and it's just gonna work and all that. But
Yeah.
given the economy right now, it's really good to expand your network and try other things or probably get other clients just to have a backup.
Yeah. One of the issues that employers, including myself, has really been about reliability, I would say.
Exactly.
So I think a lot of virtual assistants actually seem to start out strong, I mean, example, and then reliability seems to take a dip, I don't know, in around year one, year two. I think that's something that like in the back of people's minds as well. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Can you expand?
No, I think there's always like, seems to be high turnover as well. But also reliability can be sometimes be an issue as well.
Right,
Even
right.
with pay increments and things like
Yeah,
that. So I think quite an interesting dynamic. I'm just curious, yeah.
Yeah, so I've been hearing a lot of because in FH Moms we have like a sub community for
Yeah.
digital agency
Right,
owners.
yeah.
So they would like share that they have this employees who are new and then would either they have a new term for that. It's moonlighting.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
either you moonlight like you work for different clients
Yeah.
when in fact you're not allowed to
Yeah.
because you're supposed to just work
Right.
with one employer.
Right.
And then the other one is ghosting. So
Yeah.
basically just ghosting your
Yeah,
employer.
yeah.
So those are the nightmare for them as employers. With that, we just tell them to tighten their recruitment process because there's a lot of people now, not just Filipinos, but a lot of people in different countries trying to get a job, and then they would fake their profile, their resume, and all that. So we would always tell them to really screen the applicants.
Right.
And then now you would see that a lot of the requirements would require them to provide like a video introduction, stuff like that. And then many would not like to send one, but then it's just another form of just checking if you're a real person.
Yeah, definitely. And what's interesting is that with the rise of AI as well, there's
Agree.
been lots of changes, I would say. in this
Exactly.
space.
It's so easy now
yeah,
to create an AI generated resume.
For sure. And I think even another problem I face recruiting in the Philippines was actually like English literacy.
Right.
So obviously you want somebody who's professionally
Exactly.
strong in English, but with obviously AI making
Yeah.
what have perfect English as well as autocorrect, like Grammarly. I actually got to the point where I was doing 5-minute interviews and it was just basically saying, let's do a video call and it's an English test. We're just going to share a screen and I just need you to type a few sentences,
Okay.
to show you that
You can really,
you
like,
can write.
Right.
and
At least
if you liked. I mean, like why your professional career goals, etc.
Exactly.
And I was just surprised because we actually filtered out like 80%. It was like only 1 in 5 actually passed that English test because everybody else was using autocorrect.
Exactly.
So I think it was an interesting challenge from an employer perspective. I'm just curious how you think about that. Is it like the solution for employees? Would it be, I don't know, English classes or I don't know. I'm
Right
serious.
now, I always say that we're just a community.
Yeah.
We still want the government to do their job, right? So, but then since we're a huge community, we have 500,000 members, right?
Yeah.
These are 500,000 households in the Philippines. So what we did, aside from sharing information casually through regular posts and then webinars and then the events, during summer, we have FH Kids Digital Bootcamp. So we would teach AI and coding. And then before the theme, we would try different classes as well. But then we're not meant to do that. It's just another program that we wanted to do for the kids. So right now, what we're doing is we try to partner with other organizations focusing on kids because we truly believe that in terms of education, it should really start as early as what? Not at school, but at home, right? So we would encourage the moms to teach their kids about tech and English communication as well, and the soft skills that they needed, stuff like that. So I think it's very important to encourage all the stakeholders, not just the household, not just the government, but literally everyone that could help all the Filipinos to be competitive in terms of the global opportunities.
Yeah. And you mentioned that, obviously in the world of AI, there's a lot of change. You're using
Right.
AI as well. I'm just curious because I can imagine some people say, hey, with AI and AI
I know.
agents, do you need a Filipino virtual
assistant.
assistant?
Yeah.
But you also said that maybe some virtual assistants can use AI as well.
Exactly.
So I'm curious how you assess the change.
Yeah, so I did join a lot of AI boot camps. I even went to Alibaba in China. I went to Meta, Google, Microsoft, and so many other events, even in Singapore in Super AI, just for me to get updated. And I just gave birth. My baby girl is now 2 years old, and during that time she was just months old. Okay, so I need to learn this. I even asked my husband to try all the AI tools so that it will not be hard for me. And then I realized that okay, so time will come that we're gonna be replaced by. So before I would say that no, we're not gonna be replaced by AI, but AI tools now are very powerful. We have AI agents, we have AI employees. So what we did is we did train our moms about building, about creating their own chatbot to set up their own automation and stuff like that, so that we won't be left behind. I think that's the most important part of it, just to make sure that everyone is just trying to learn the technology, because we've been teaching them about the basics of freelancing as well as the different tools. All they have to do is just be updated. That's why I would really do my best to update them. And it's crazy because the AI updates is wild. I feel that every day there's a new update. You have to be unemployed just to be updated with the AI news. So it's funny. But then I have to curate all the teachings for them. Because again, these are mass people. Many of them are not techie. Some of them are already techie and are using a few tools. So I have to, whenever I talk to different people, I also have to adjust my flow, my teachings, as well as the tools that I'll be sharing with them. So it's so difficult. That's why it's also important for me to encourage other coaches in the community so that they can also teach their own community.
So let's talk about that because if I look at some of the things that a virtual assistant normally does would be like historically was clearing inboxes, email, draft emails is one. Another one is obviously scheduling, coordination.
Exactly, yeah.
The third would be like bookings and reservations.
Right.
These are three things that I would say drafting and writing emails, AI is pretty much there.
Yeah, it's there.
already, and
Exactly.
they're starting to make it like auto-populated with that. The second part is about calendaring. Still not easy, but I think people if they can use like Calendly or some sort of like automatic scheduler, helps
Correct.
a lot. And then thirdly, of course, is travel bookings and reservations. Also slowly, I think it's a little bit further away. There's some dynamics there. So what do you think in this new world of virtual assistants, do you see them like becoming, for example, employees or engineers? Like what's the
So I see
task,
that there will be like a trend where the freelancers can
Yeah.
transition to being a SaaSpreneur. So them building a service or
Yeah.
a platform for their clients. So either they set it up for their clients, so not just provide service, but creating or building something to help their clients. And I think that's more powerful rather than being just a regular virtual assistant that could help you on a day-to-day basis. But it's amazing to know that we are in the era where people, or especially Filipinos, can start building. Because for the longest time, we're just here, to provide service. We're known for that globally, that we're so good when it comes to taking care of other people. But then when it comes to building our own, it's a different story. So it's great to see that a lot of Filipinos now are into the tech startup world. They are also building their own apps, platforms, and it's the same for us. We would encourage our community members to start building something to provide solutions, not just for the clients, but also to our community.
And I'm just curious, like in your community, are people worried about AI agents? Are they, you use the word left behind? So I said, you're also excited about it. So I'm just kind of curious, how's the community split up or thinking about it? Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
in our community, they are lucky because I keep on telling them not to be afraid. So I think it's very important that you get to set the tone because there are a lot of AI enthusiasts or influencers who would scare everybody that, guys, tomorrow you'll be like,
Everyone's gonna be jobless and the government will pay you money to
I
not
know,
work.
but for us, we try to be positive and at the same time informative, and we tell them that these are the things that we can actually do, so not get replaced by AI, something like that. So the support is really there, and then we would also show them. For example, my husband vibe coded my website, stuff like that, and then so my kid, I also ask him to help me delete all of my messages, and I'm ready to pay him for 1 month, but then he finished everything in just 2 hours. So he downloaded an app to delete all of my message, and I was, oh my god, okay. So I think I don't have to teach the kids because the kids are naturally techie and they know how things work. So for me, it's just teaching older people, especially in our community. Most of us are millennial, so many are already techie, but a big number still not techie. That's what we really aim to make sure that everyone knows how to use the basic tools so that it will be just them getting new updates.
And I'm kind of curious seeing all of this change. What do you think is the future for FHMoms?
For us, we've been teaching these moms about online jobs, right? And now business. And then there are a lot of other course providers, communities, equally great when it comes to teaching. So I think since we positioned FH Moms as, how do you call that? We're the first one to do so many things, right? We're like a trendsetter. So I feel that it's important for us to always level up because many don't want to touch the job placement, the job matching. And even myself, I would always say that I know there are a lot of agency owners who don't really love what they're doing because it's so difficult to do recruitment. And I'm in the same mindset during that time. I would really say no to that space. But then I realized that, okay, if I will not be doing this, who will gonna do it for us? Because educating people is, I'm not saying it's easy, but everyone can do it. And even a newbie virtual assistant can already share what they know, right, to another person. But job placement, it's another monster, right? You're gonna be dealing with a lot of clients, employers, right, globally, and you'll be bringing a lot of opportunities. And in every opportunity, there's always a problem. You have to face a lot of problems in regards with people. So it's gonna be headache. So for me, I wanted to be in that space now. I feel that FH Moms will be a platform that can provide real job opportunities, right? Not just teaching them, not just supporting them, help them close clients through our network.
Oh, amazing. And on that note, could you share a personal or professional story of a time that you have been brave?
During the time where I started FH Moms, I was like an underdog. I'm new to all the things that's happening. And then there are veterans in the freelancing industry who would really bully me like online and then in person. It's so sad because I'm young back then. I have a positive view with all the things, right? I don't have any idea how things were even in the business world, right? So I was just excited to help my fellow Filipinos, but then there are these people who would like to bring you down. And I'm so emotional because, again, I'm in my early 20s. I'm just 21 back then. So you could imagine all the pressure, all the emotional trauma that I received. And then, of course, there's my husband who really supported me. But then we would always say that if you don't like to receive all the trauma, you can just quit and then stop doing what you do. But I know he's just saying that to like uplift my mood because he know that I will not stop doing what I'm doing because that's something that I love to do. Yeah, I'm just so happy that I just continued with this advocacy. So it became an advocacy, and then during that time, I'm not the only one who who's brave enough to face all the bullies because I have thousands of moms backing me up who's braver than me. And then they are the ones who like protected me with all the bullies.
Wait, when they bully you, what do they say? Do they say like, I don't know, you suck?
I
What
don't
does
know.
it mean to
So
bully?
it's so
Yeah.
weird. So
Yeah.
remember, I did my first training at home.
Yeah.
So they're just saying that, oh, you're asking for money, and it's just 250 pesos. My God, I don't know. It's so petty. So they are telling me that I should do my trainings in like a nicer place, maybe. I don't know,
Yeah.
because I'm asking for payment. And because I'm already asking for a fee for some of our courses, they tell me that, oh, you're asking for money now, something like that. And back in my head, I would say that, of course, I wanted this to be sustainable. That's what I'm thinking. So they don't really understand that. So they just wanted me to provide free training. I don't know. But then I'm very upfront that these are the things that I will be doing. I'll be providing free and then paid courses, but maybe because I don't know, we're in the Philippines and then there are a lot of comments from either bullies or people that they just wanted to give everything for free. But that's not the case because what I wanted is to have a sustainable community and to be able to train people. And I can only do that if we have the cash, right? We have the funds.
Yeah. I think that's always a scary bit, right? One of the companies I built and founded was a social enterprise. And I think it was always
Right.
scary to
Yeah,
ask for money because
exactly.
I think there's a very binary black or white where it's like, oh, you're doing this for community, therefore it
Right.
should be free.
Yeah.
Therefore, I mean, example versus asking to cover the
Exactly,
sustainability of
exactly.
operations.
Maybe that was the problem
Yeah.
because I was
Yeah.
just trying to position FH Moms
Yeah.
as a social enterprise
At a
just
time,
for
yeah.
helping people. That's why we transitioned to being a
Yeah.
corporation
Yeah.
so that we can do all the business transactions in that matter.
Right.
But then I think it's just them, it's their problem because I feel that they are even calling out other course providers and other communities
Right.
asking for money for their courses. Yeah. So I don't know with them, but I'm just so happy that I did continue and I'm
Yeah.
here and we're doing so many great things with our clients, with our people. I think that's what I'm thankful for. I think
Right.
the trauma is still there, but I know that was the most unforgettable moment for me in terms of being brave.
And if there was a time travel machine, let's just say, and you could go back to that time when you're still at a call center, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe you call yourself at a call center and you had a baby on the way.
Yeah.
Any advice you would give to yourself back then over the phone?
That's a tough question.
Yeah.
Hang in there.
Yeah.
Just keep going because it's so hard. I know it's hard, but you're not yet saying what's gonna happen, but you're rocking the world in 2026. So just keep hanging in there.
Yeah. Also, that would be a nice call to get, I guess,
Yeah.
from your future self if
Right.
you were at a call center. On that note, I'd love to wrap things up by summarizing the three big takeaways. First, so much for thank you for sharing about your own personal journey about being a Filipino home-based mom, from being a
Yes.
call center to having a kid to making a decision to be a virtual assistant. And I thought it was just fascinating to hear that how that led to you building that community for yourself and eventually for other people as well. Secondly, thanks for sharing about some of the organizational practices around the community about what needs to be done in terms of making it sustainable, but also what's it like to be in the early days training out of Jollibee and your home to where it is today to having to work with agency owners and job matching and placement. So fascinating to hear. And lastly, thanks for sharing your perspective on AI and
Yeah.
all the people saying that AI will take away everyone's jobs on one end, but you saying, hey, what does it take to be brave and to explore these tools yourself with your son, with your husband, but also seeing it as an opportunity for Filipino home-based moms to also upskill themselves and continue to carve out a niche in this ever-changing world.
Yes.
On that note, thank you so much for sharing your experience.
Thank you so much, Jeremy. Appreciate that.
Thank you for listening to Brave. If you enjoyed this episode, please share the podcast with your friends and colleagues. We would also appreciate you leaving a rating or review. Head over to www.bravesea.com for member content, resources, and community. Stay well and stay brave.